Tonight, more than 400 nurses and others rallied outside the legislature, calling for changes to an overwhelmed healthcare system. COVID-19 cases are surging in the province, but testing kits are hard to find, and they'll cost you. The Riders ready themselves to battle for a playoff spot this weekend.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Thursday, October the 3rd, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. Hi there, and thanks for watching. The Saskatchewan Union of Nurses and its members held a rally outside the legislature today, drawing attention to what they call a healthcare system in crisis. Their message: safe staffing gets my vote. Adam Hunter was at the rally and has the details.
Use your voices, encourage your coworkers, share your stories. We deserve better, and so do the people in Saskatchewan.
More than 400 Saskatchewan nurses and supporters are demanding action to improve healthcare.
The moral injury to us healthcare workers is unparalleled. Our coworkers are leaving in droves, and who can blame them? This crisis is killing us. It's killing us, the nurses, the doctors, the paramedics, and the support staff. And our patients, they are dying already.
Sun's president says this week emergency room capacity has been at a breaking point. Saskatoon's Royal University Hospital reported its ER at 350% capacity. Tracy Zambori says voters should be asking candidates their plan for health care.
When someone shows up at your doorstep and wants your vote, they have to earn it. They have to tell you what they're going to do for health care. They have to tell you what their plan is to solve this nursing crisis. And not only do they have to make the promise of it, they have to put it in writing, because we're sick and tired of the broken promises that we've been putting up with this government for the last 2 years.
NDP leader Carla Beck was also at the rally. She says if elected, the NDP would strike up a nursing task force.
We know that the only way that we are going to stabilize the healthcare system and ensure that people in every corner of this province get what they need is by cutting it with empty promises, sitting down with them and doing the hard work of rebuilding a system that is currently in crisis in this province.
Saskatchewan Party leader Scott Moe says more nurses are on the way.
The last 18 months, we've seen over 1,300 nurses being hired, from about 1,000 from across Canada, Canadian grads, and about 350 from overseas, offering services and working in a Saskatchewan healthcare facility today. And so, admittedly, there is much more work to do here, and the Health Human Resource Plan has not certainly found its way to the end of its work.
Zambori says she invited Moe to come to a Sun event on Thursday morning. He couldn't come, so she was told Everett Hindley would take his place. The Saskatchewan Party says he was only given 1 hour's notice and could not make it. Still, the Saskatchewan Party says it looks forward to working on a patient-focused nursing task force and a new collective bargaining agreement. Adam Hunter, CBC News, Regina.
The Saskatchewan Party did continue campaigning today, and if re-elected, promise it will help parents pay for their children's activities. Leader Scott Moe made the announcement in Prince Albert. He says his party would double the active families benefit to $300 per year per child. Parents would be reimbursed when their kids take part in several things, including sports, art classes, cultural and recreation activities.
We want our children today and into the future to have the opportunity to skate, to dance, to play hockey, and to play soccer in a facility just like this in Prince Albert at the Alfred Jenkins Fieldhouse.
The benefit would be slightly higher for families who have a child with a disability. Moe says the policy would cost the government roughly $4 million per year. The first medically inclusive childcare centre in Saskatoon received a significant donation today. Dakota Dunes Community Development Corporation gifted $150,000 to Hope's Home. The Early Learning Centre provides care to children with complex medical needs like 24-hour nursing. The organization currently has a centre in Regina and launched an $8.6 million fundraising goal to open one in Saskatoon. It offers both daycare and respite opportunities. The CEO says the donation will help support the new preschool classroom.
And that will make it so it's fully equipped, accessible for our children to be able to access the program that's happening in that classroom. So it's support like this and community partnerships like Dakota Dunes that really makes it possible at Hope's Home. We have to fundraise $8.6 million. So this is amazing today.
Saskatoon Tribal Council Tribal Chief Mark Arcand is board chair for the Development Corporation. He says STC proudly supports Hope's Home's work toward inclusion and providing a safe space for children and high-quality care. Once free COVID-19 test kits are now hard to come by in Saskatchewan, and when they are available, they're usually not free. As Aishwarya Duda reports, that's causing concern for many.
I didn't get a test kit. I was unable to because no matter who I spoke to, I phoned several places, they did not have any test kits.
The Saskatchewan government stopped providing the free kits in spring. Many drugstores don't stock them anymore. And if you do find one, a box of 4 tests costs from $20 to $40. Luba Aramanenko says she drove around looking for tests while she was sick, but couldn't find any. She eventually went to an emergency clinic. A test there confirmed she was positive.
It's really inconsiderate and disrespectful of the government not to let people know that COVID is so rampant in our area.
There is a cost to us to have them on hand, an inventory cost, same as anything else we stock. So if they don't move, we are out that cost.
Junip says inquiries have increased recently, but when people find out the cost, many decide not to buy. A Saskatchewan epidemiologist says COVID-19 may not be the emergency it once was, but it's still making people sick. Rising cases are making up majority of respiratory illnesses in the province. He warns a fall surge is imminent and testing remains crucial.
What we are risking is people staying home without working, lost wages, lost productivity, and sick people, who may actually need to go to a physician, go to a doctor, go to a hospital, and that actually costs more to the system.
Free test kits are still available in Alberta, Manitoba, and south of the border. The government here says it no longer provides free home testing kits. Instead, it says people can get tested through their family doctor or a walk-in clinic.
I think that's disgusting. I think the government should be supplying it. It should be available for anybody that requires it.
Updated COVID-19 and flu vaccinations will be available later this month. Vulnerable populations can register starting October 8th, with general public eligible from October 15th. Aishwarya Duda, CBC News, Saskatoon.
A former elder at Legacy Christian Academy made his first court appearance after facing new allegations of assault from the mid-1990s. Ken Schultz appeared by phone in Saskatoon Provincial Court this afternoon. He's now charged with assault with a weapon, sexual assault, and invitation to touching. It's alleged he committed the offenses over a 3-year span beginning in July of 1994. Schultz was already charged in July of 2023 with similar charges in connection with the school. He will return to court later this month. Stats Canada says Black and Indigenous people in Canada are twice as likely to report that they have little or no confidence in police. An associate professor at the University of Regina is looking into it. He wants to hear from young BIPOC people about perceptions of policing here, and he's doing it with the help of an Insight Development grant.
Well, I think the first thing for us to study is very systemic, and this is not really pointing any accusing fingers to any officer. We have great time. I've met officers that were great, and I've met those that are not. The reality is that there is racism within a system. There is discrimination, and we also realize that many of the perception of our youth are also based on what the media has fed them over the years. So many times, a BIPOC youth is going out there having this idea already that there is a system that is rigged against me. There's nothing I can do about it. And so there are different levels, of connection and interaction that really create this kind of perception over the years.
Yeah, well, and even just recently, we've had police shootings of Indigenous men in this province. How does that inform people's perceptions?
Absolutely. And And I think that this is not accusing any particular officer.
No.
It speaks to all that and this is one of the reasons why we're doing this research, is that as much as we have the data set, the experiences every day still speak to the fact that they've not really changed, right? We also had recent experience in Manitoba where there was a distress call, and the next thing that we saw was an open fire on this particular really Black student. So I think that all of that means that it affects the perception. There's nothing we can do about it. If the data set shows that and people's daily realities show that, then really there's nothing that we can do. It's true. History also shows us that it is true, and we need to think and work about it together.
What needs to change based on your experience and your research?
Well, I think right now, based on the work we have done, I think the system itself, whether it's when it comes to training, in terms of the curriculum, when it comes to how the police interaction as a system with the communities, the tactics that they use, all of those things really need to change. Very fundamental is that the police service is not designed, it's designed quote and unquote, to protect, to give that sense of safety. And as long as that is not part of what is happening, then we're going to have a lot of issues.
Definitely a sweater weather kind of day in the Queen City. Even some falling sleet this morning, but things have really cleared out since then. As we lean into October, we do have a couple more cool and wet days ahead of us, but it looks like a different story next week. Ethan will explain in his forecast after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. A public health advisory says today's parents face unique challenges that can impact their mental health. Some parents from older generations say raising children has always been and always will be a struggle. But can we really say which generation has it the worst? Courtney Markowicz looks into it.
Parenting is hard, but is it harder than it used to be? Or is it just different?
Billy, that earns you about 5-minute timeout now, mister. Phoenix, Arizona, are we having big feelings right now? Okay, let's try and breathe in. Gentle hands. Another banger. Baby, calm down, calm down. If I tell you, say I love you, no there for me younger.
The U.S. General Surgeon put out a public health advisory about how modern stresses impact parents' mental health.
But today, families must also contend with new challenges, navigating technology and social media, a youth mental health crisis, an epidemic of loneliness that is hitting young people the hardest, and a hyper-intense culture of comparison that often leaves parents and kids feeling like they are not good enough.
Now, stress in parenting and questioning everything you're doing isn't anything new. The greatest generation raised children during the First and Second World Wars. Their children were parents during the rise of the nuclear bomb.
A family is a team that works together, and Tommy would like to be on that team.
Baby boomers raised children in the era of helicopter parenting and stranger danger. And around the millennium, parents had to navigate this new thing called the internet. There's no data to tell us what was worse or what was better, but we do know that parents today are spending more time with their children. And that can add pressure, especially when most parents today now work outside the home, while many also feel a need to invest more energy and affection into their kids.
This is what I've been seeing for years, so it's pretty obvious. And in another sense, kind of happy that it's front and center as the conversation, because a lot of parents are alone in feeling like this and feel kind of ashamed and isolated.
Information is now available at every parent's fingertips.
There is having kids, and then there is the decision to be a parent.
If you yell at me one more time, I'm going to go in another place.
All these privileged kids are being protected from hurt feelings by parents today.
It means support is readily available.
They have all of these feelings and emotions that are stirred up inside of them that they're not quite sure how to process.
You can talk to them till they're blue in the face all about their feelings and their big emotions and all that. That's ridiculous.
You know what positive discipline means? Discipline comes from the Latin word disciplina, which means learning. Our children are still learning.
But is constantly being bombarded with content a good thing?
I think it's a double-edged sword. We know so much more, and we still just have to make the choices to do what is best for us and our families with the information that we have. We are just inundated all day, every day. And it sort of reminds me, like ignorance is bliss. Like it was easier when we just didn't know as much.
It's difficult to compare parenting back then with parenting now, but it happens all the time. Parents are always comparing themselves and their methods.
I often tell myself that I am a garbage mom in my darkest moments, and then I realize, wait a second, maybe you're not, Libby. But there's something about lying in bed at night when all of the thoughts enter your brain about the things that you did wrong and the things you could have done differently and the things that might traumatize your children one day.
I'm sorry I yelled at you. I know it can be so scary when mommy yells at you, right?
Do you ever fully feel like you're a good dad? No.
Get your ass up, stop being lazy. We need to shower, we have to get up, clean the fish, stop being lazy.
So when other people, as well-meaning as they are, tell us, oh, it's going to be hard or question our way of doing things, I think that does definitely lead to stress. And so that's why, if I see a parent in the grocery store with their child who's struggling, I'm not going to come over and give a unhelpful suggestion about what they could do better. To the contrary, we want to go over and maybe sympathize or commiserate or something like that, right? We want to build parents' confidence up and not suggest that there's all these different ways they could or should do something.
The weather update is brought to you by Capital GMC Buick Cadillac. Our greatest auto sale is on now.
And our weather specialist, Ethan Williams, joins me now. It actually turned out to be a pretty nice day, but I got sleeted on this morning.
Yeah, we did have a little bit of that kind of rain-snow mix moving around parts of south and central Saskatchewan. That has since cleared away. We've seen some nice blue skies as well, but the temperatures having a little bit of trouble getting up there today. Still kind of sitting where we were this time yesterday in much of the province. Again, if you're kind of near the international border, you did end up getting into those mid-teens, but single digits for a lot of us in central Saskatchewan. The first day since the spring, since we haven't been able to get above that 10-degree mark. And overnight lows tonight, going to drop once again, freezing to -5 for a lot of us. And with just a little bit of wind, portions of east central Saskatchewan, it's going to feel closer to maybe -10, even as we wake up tomorrow morning. Now, this follows a September that was very warm across much of the province. Almost all of us having within kind of the top 5 warmest Septembers on record. And a lot of us reporting anywhere between 3 and 5 degrees warmer than normal through the province. Moisture, a bit of a different story, because you had a place like the Battlefords, which had almost 3 times the amount of moisture that you normally get in September, actually making that your 3rd wettest September on record. And then places like Prince Albert and Moose Jaw only getting about half of what you normally get in September, just kind of dependent on those systems that we're moving through. We saw a really big one in mid-September, and there is another one that's going to start moving in. This high pressure area starts moving out tonight. That's going to keep us clear and cool, but then the clouds start building in for portions of south and central for tomorrow morning. Those will clear away. I think we'll have a nice sunny afternoon again, except if you're in the Churchill region, increasing cloudiness there. And then it's this Alberta Clipper which moves in, begins bringing some rain through northern and western sections early Saturday morning, just past midnight. And through the morning hours, that's going to move eastward. I think the snow is mostly going to be limited to Manitoba, but maybe far northeastern Saskatchewan picking that up a bit. That quickly moves out for Sunday, but we'll watch another little system with rain and snow moving through the very far north as we get into Sunday. Rainfall totals from this, I think for south and central, maybe a pocket of up to 15 millimeters, but nothing too significant from this. I think for the north, again, we're looking maybe 5 to 10 millimeters at most. But what clippers are known for is their very strong wind. And we're going to start to see those pick up, especially as we get into Saturday. Could be into wind warning territory here in the southeast. I think these gusts will be at times possibly over 90 kilometers an hour. So windy day on Saturday, but until then, breezes pick up a little bit, but it'll be warmer tomorrow for much of the province as we get near 20 degrees. There's the blip on Saturday before, yes, 20-degree temperatures returning for next week. Saskatoon, pretty similar here. I think you have the better chance of some moisture, especially as we head into the morning hours Saturday, and then things returning to above seasonal heading into next week. So another shot of moisture possible in the near future here, Sam.
All right. Thanks, Ethan.
You're welcome.
Scenes from Easter Island yesterday as people gathered to take in the Ring of Fire solar eclipse. It's also known as an annular eclipse. It happens when the moon is too far away from Earth to completely cover the sun. The eclipse was visible across the southern half of South America, parts of Antarctica, and Hawaii. We'll be back after the break. A closed last practice for the Saskatchewan Roughriders at home today before they travel to Edmonton tomorrow. The 7-7-1 team will take on a 5-10 Elk squad. With so many injuries, the Riders will lean on Frankie Hickson at running back. AJ Ouellette was limited in practice this week. A new addition, Raquel Armstead, did not practice at all due to a shoulder injury. Both of them are officially out for Saturday, as is Jacob Bramer, Sean Bain Jr., and Mitch Picton. The head coach says he does expect some intensity as teams battle for playoff spots.
I mean, it's kind of been the approach for us is just the eagerness to win each week. We kind of put that on ourselves. You know, through the end of the year, you're expecting those kind of games. You know, Ottawa was kind of in a similar situation. Calgary the week before, you know, they were eager to win, and I'm sure Edmonton is, but the reality is so are we. So we really just kind of focus inward on getting the job done for ourselves, and if we handle what we're supposed to handle, then everything will fall the way it needs to fall.
Riders kicker Brett Lawther will play in his 100th CFL game on Saturday, and if he helps the green and white win, that would be good news. That plus a Calgary loss means a playoff spot. Lawther and the Riders will kick off at 5 p.m. at Commonwealth Stadium. And Ethan's back with one last look at your weather.
And after another chilly night, I think in Regina we'll be dropping below the freezing mark again. We'll warm up pretty quickly, 4 degrees by 8 a.m. A little bit of some cloudiness in there, but I think that clears away by the noon hour, shooting up to 15 degrees already. But those southeast winds remaining a little gusty at times, and those will continue to pick up as we head into the afternoon. For Saskatoon, we are looking at 3 degrees, pretty similar. I think, again, we'll drop below freezing overnight, and then 13 by the noon hour. Some gusty southeast winds for you as well. But if you want to stay warm, just take a look at this beautiful photo of the sunset that Bob sent us over Waskesiu Lake with the no wind. Obviously there, as you can see, is that lake looking like glass, Sam. Just beautiful.
And soon it will be ice.
He just had to bring that in, hey?
Thanks, Ethan.
You're welcome.
That is it for us tonight. For news anytime, you can head to cbc.ca/Sask or /Saskatoon. You can subscribe to CBC Saskatchewan's YouTube channel or download the CBC News app on your phone or tablet. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.